Greetings and welcome to episode 230 of the Words About Games podcast, a weekly video game podcast for words about games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, joined this week once again by the glorious one, the grizzled one, the gravy one.
Gravy one?
The only other G word I could think of was gangrenous. I don't think you'd want me to call you gastrointestinal one. Mr. Daffy, how are you doing?
I'm back. Guess who's back? Back again. Yes, I am back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you missed me. I hope you did, because I'm bringing the F1 news back, ladies and gentlemen. Lewis Hamilton, 92 wins, world record breaking out there. I know the pound guy last week said no F1 news this week, but I'm saying F1, Lewis Hamilton. Fantastic. And bring Portugal back as a full-time race, please.
Number one, Patrick is a national treasure, and I love him very much. Number two, I had a feeling you were going to do this after we messaged. So, just to get ahead of it, all I'm going to say is this isn't an F1 podcast. This is the Words About Games podcast, where every week we discuss what's going on in gaming, the games industry, and gaming culture. In the fastest intro of all time, because I knew you were going to do that. In this week's episode, we discuss Cyberpunk 2077's latest delay, comments made by a Stadia game studio head about streaming, Phil Spencer's thoughts on Xbox streaming sticks, and more. Then we'll go over all the new game announcements from the past week. We'll give you a content drop where we recommend some articles you should read and some videos you should watch. We'll tell you what games are coming out next week before playing OpenCritic head-to-head, which I haven't filled in yet, where we guess the OpenCritic average of one upcoming game. And as always, we'll wrap the show up with a post-show discussion and chat about whatever's on our mind. Timestamps are in the description below the video on YouTube. They're also in the description of all the audio podcasts, so you can skip around. And if you want to skip past the Cyberpunk discussion, I don't blame you. Talk about it a lot.
Might be on this one a long time. Yeah, it's going to be a long one, this one. Well, the main news is going to be a long one, I think.
But, no, like, you can skip around, watch bits of the podcast, save your place, and come back later, watch the whole podcast backwards. We don't mind, we're just happy.
Hear me talk about F1 again? I'll always squeeze it in somehow.
You already did.
That sounded wrong.
Also on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, so if you want to listen, if you like listening to your podcasts on those platforms, like me, I listen to all my podcasts on Spotify. I don't watch them on YouTube. Some of them aren't even available on YouTube, as I found out recently. You can do that too. And I don't know what the system of governance is as far as like things go on there, but if you just like and subscribe, I think those two things are pretty universal.
Give a 5-star rating with a nice comment. Do all that sexiness, ladies and gentlemen. You'll get us beings all happy and smiley all the time, even when there was silly ass news, which we're going to be talking about shortly.
I mean, the silly news would make us smile.
That's true.
It's the terrible news and the annoying news. People being idiots. And that's this week's episode. So let's dive right in. Cyberpunk 2077's latest. I didn't know I was about to yawn or not. I was like, uh-oh.
Hold it! And here we go.
Cyberpunk 2077's latest delay is due to the current gen console versions, CD Projekt suggests. This is from Tom Ivan over at Video Games Chronicle, who writes, Cyberpunk 2077's latest delay may be due to issues with the Xbox One and PS4 versions of the game. On Tuesday, the title's release date was pushed back by 21 days to December 10th, marking a third delay for a game originally scheduled to launch in April. In a joint statement released on Tuesday, CD Projekt co-founder Marcin Nowinski and head of studio Adam Badowski, said the biggest challenge facing the studio was shipping the game on current gen, next gen, and PC simultaneously. And in a follow-up conference call attended by PAP Business, CEO Adam Kaczynski said, quote, "The game for PC is ready and plays well on next-gen consoles, and the company is finalizing the process concerning current-gen consoles," end quote. He also said the delay would lead to a better initial reaction to the product, resulting in greater sales. Quote, "The decision was not easy, but we know there is just one release, and the first impression is crucial," end quote. CD Projekt Red staff are currently working mandatory 6-day weeks to deliver a launch day patch that will address various bugs present in the gold version of the game that is already being pressed onto discs. Quote, "We are really sure we have something amazing on our hands and are super happy with what we will deliver," Kaczynski said. End quote. CD Projekt's SVP of Business Development, Mikhail Nowakowski, also said the company has a lot of confidence in the game based on testing, with those who have finished it reportedly labeling it a unique experience. According to Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier, CD Projekt Red staff were informed of yesterday's delay via email at the same time as the news was made public. For audio listeners, that was me, my eyes rolling into the back of my head so far I couldn't see them anymore.
Well.
If only
So
this
first
is
of all,
the iceberg. So, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Well, where I start screaming and blood starts shooting out of my ears.
Okay, so let's get it out of the way straight away. As we've said on multiple occasions, you and me, Amy, delays are good, ladies and gentlemen, to make the game better.
Correct.
To a certain point.
Blood is not going to start shooting out of my ears just because they delayed Cyberpunk.
Yes.
That's a good thing. Because now I can play Yakuza.
I can play Boys Valhalla.
Exactly.
Unless it sucks.
We'll just put all our time into Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks, yes. I will have that before her. But anyway, yeah. Delaying it is if they want to make sure it's ready for all things, consoles and PC and everything like that, delaying it is the best way to do that. That's fine. I don't mind doing that. What I do mind though is the delaying it for like 2 weeks. I'm just like, you've delayed this 4 times now?
3 weeks.
What?
21 days is 3 weeks.
Oh, whatever. You could really you threw me right off there. I mean, I'm not going to lie.
I was doing it without saying it, but you didn't look at it. I was like...
I know. Because I'll put you there so I can look into the camera, but anyway. Good editing for you. I expect I expect kick-ass editing from you here, Amy.
Absolutely not. Why would you expect that? I turned all of our videos into podcasts, so I didn't have to do editing anymore.
Oh God. Okay.
You were saying?
I think you've delayed this now 4 times, I believe, this year. 3 or 4 times, I believe. It's absolutely stupid now. Just get it out of 2020 altogether for me. Move it into 2021. 3 times, you say, yeah? Okay, 3 times. Just get it into 2021 now. I feel like just now, one, you're gonna spread out the development, and maybe your staff will not crunch as much as they're going to be doing now for the next 3 flipping weeks. Which, while we already know, ladies and gentlemen, they have been crunching hard all year, which was revealed a couple of weeks ago, or a few weeks back. Just delay it to next year. We said this when it was delayed last time. Push it to 2021. I'm saying it again. Push it to 2021. It's just silly. It's just get it out of the way now. Everybody's excited for this game, but like I'm going to give a shout out to our friends. Joseph Moran and Carl Stevenson from the Trophy Room podcast, PlayStation podcast, by the players, for the players. Go and check them out, ladies and gentlemen. They are absolutely fabulous. But Joseph asked the question on there, is this delay now just getting too silly to the part where you are feeling like you just don't want to play this game right now? And I feel like that. And after listening to him this morning, I literally felt that. I was thinking, I hadn't thought about that. And now I'm just like, I'm just not excited for this game right now. And I'm just like, especially with all the baggage, what's coming on along with it from behind the scenes. And I'm just like, push it to next year. You'll be fine if it pushed for next year. You don't need to drop with the consoles. Heck, you're not dropping with the consoles anymore now as you pushed yourself. So move, get out the way. I guarantee you, and I'm saying this 100% guaranteed to anybody, they would make the same amount of money if they released with the consoles. Because everybody who loves CD Projekt Red love their games and want to play this game. They would still sell the same thing for me. No one could convince me to say, no, they would not, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I believe it would be beneficial to drop with the consoles, but let's just get it out of 2021 now. I'm sick of this. It's beyond a joke. Delaying it, fine, but just get it out of the way now.
I feel sorry for any game that was coming out in December.
The medium's fucked.
I was
Part of my language there.
There's been a couple of indie developers who are like about to press go on like their release announcements.
Yeah.
And who just went, what? No, everybody was supposed to be finished Cyberpunk by then. But
CD Projekt Red, sorry for putting it, is the president from Monsters vs. Aliens, where they have the big red button, and their big red button they think is prepared to launch the game no, their other one is to delay the game, and they keep on pressing the delayed one all the time. And it's just like, ugh.
Like, does it make me more or less excited for the game? I mean, it doesn't really move the needle for me. Like, the delays itself. Like, The Witcher 3 was delayed like 3 or 4 times as well.
But yeah, for some weird reason, I was always consistently excited for that game. This one just seems like, because I think I know more baggage about this maybe on my hand, because since you and me have been working together and everything like that, I'm learning more about the baggage and everything, maybe.
There's a lot more baggage to this than there was with The Witcher 3. Like, a lot more stuff has come out with everything about CD Projekt Red, which probably dampens your excitement. Sorry, not sorry. But, like, yeah, that was your question, right? Like, no, it doesn't really. Like, I have many questions of my own that I'm going to ask you, because I can't ask Anna Badowski or Martha Nowinski or anyone else who works at CD Projekt Red. So I'm going to ask Mr. Dafford Moody.
It does not work at CD Projekt Red. And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to answer.
I still demand answers. Question number 1. Like, actually, I can answer question number 1 because you talked about it before, where it's just like, I don't want them to delay it in 2021. Because, like, all that's happened is the developers are now going to have to crunch for an extra 3 weeks. Plus the post-launch crunch that'll happen when they're, like, fixing bugs that people find because the game's out in the wild. Like, if they delay it to, like, January, February, March, April, May, like, whatever, like, that's just more crunch for the developers. At this point,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
I want the game out. Like, I'm in for the same reasons as you, but the opposite conclusion. I just want this game out now. Like, I just want it out.
Yeah.
To go. I want it to be done. I want CD Projekt Red to stop overworking its staff to bring out this game. Like that's where I sit. Like, I'm still gonna play it unless they do something really stupid in the next 20 days, 19 days, 18 days, 18 days.
I also want to say one thing. Jeff Keighley, bugger off with you. Now Cyberpunk is going to be the 2021 Game of the Year because it's not eligible for my awards. Fuck off. I'm just going to say that right now.
Right now, right?
No one cares.
Like, I mean, no one cares in general. Like,
yeah.
But, like,
I love the man. I think he's brilliant. I think he works his ass off and everything. But my goodness, he says some stupid things sometimes, and that was just like...
Right now, with the direction of the conversation and everything that is going on around Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red, nobody gives a fuck whether it's eligible for Game of the Year at the Game Awards or not.
Yeah.
Like, me and
question is, will people be talking about it at the end of next year? That's the question.
Me and Moody have spent the last 2 weeks arguing about, wow, that's not moving very much. I've spent the last 2 weeks arguing about Among Us for Game of the Year, right? But, like, deep down,
it isn't.
Neither of us give a shit.
That's true. Like,
Like, I'm just going to move this closer because I think Windows has done an update and it's turned my microphone down. Like, neither of us actually give 2 seconds of a shit, right, about whether it's actually Game of the Year or not. Like, right? Right?
That's true. Yes, yeah, that is true.
Sorry, I'm trying to troubleshoot while I'm actually doing a
podcast.
podcast.
I know, I can see that.
So, I've forgotten.
God damn you, Windows! While answering a question.
Yeah, well, trying to like talk about CD Projekt Red popping like crazy because my microphone's right next to my mouth. So my second, one of my questions towards CD Projekt Red, I've come prepared with the news article of the delay last time. I'm reading, funnily enough, from Video Games Chronicle by Tom Ivan. 4 months. I feel
like I know what you're gonna bring up here.
4 months ago, and I'll just read the first paragraph. CD Projekt, it's not the first. Yeah, it is the first project. First paragraph. CD Projekt intends to release the proper, full-blown next-gen version of Cyberpunk 2077 in 2021, and it will be free for both Xbox One and PS4 owners of the game. Now, that last sentence is cool. I got no problem with that. But so according to CD Projekt Red, the game is working on
PC and the
next gen consoles and on PC. Right, cool.
Yeah.
Why were they prioritizing or even working on the next gen one when, according to them, it wasn't coming out on next gen consoles until next year?
I cannot go. Nice. I cannot answer this question for you.
So all of a sudden now I'm asking some other questions, like this mandatory crunch period that we're in, right? Which they talked about last time they delayed the game.
Yeah.
And I'm asking if they weren't working on if they weren't working on PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of the game, would they have needed a crunch?
That is the question. That is the question.
And now we're getting into the blood starts shooting out of my ears portion of the podcast because it's like.
Or is it vice versa, may I ask? Is it that they've got it working on the next-gen consoles, which they've already said they have, but because it's so temperamental on the new or the old consoles, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, is it all like that? But then, obviously, they were already prioritizing those consoles anyway before the next-gen started, which they've already said.
So how did they build a game?
They go backwards and forwards all over.
Yeah, how did they build a game?
A politician.
How did they build a game that was, let's go with optimized. It's probably not the right word, but we'll go with it. How did they build a game that was optimized for next gen consoles when they've been developing it for current gen consoles? Like at a certain point in development, did they just decide to beef like it was the USS Enterprise, and it was like just give it more power, and then. Oh shit, it's too much power. It won't work on the current gen consoles. Well, looks like you're all working weekends. Until it is.
There's a lot of things, like they go back on themselves so many times. It's literally like talking to a politician. Yeah, like I've just said before. But yeah, it isn't good. It isn't good. Like we already know. Like delaying it is fine. We're all right with the delays. Like we've already said. And like with me and Amy now both in different camps. Like she just feels like get it out now. We're sick of waiting. It's silly now. It already went into silly season for me after the second delay. So that was already there for me. But I would still say push it to 2021. But either way, they said the next.
I found the volume button.
You found it.
Protect your ears.
Yeah. Okay, but then they got the next gen one. They're saying it's not going to come until next year. That's the thing why I still question. Say why don't you just push it all together to 2021? But I
mean, it was one of the first questions that I thought of, where it was just like I read the headline for this story, and it's why I chose this story, not just a story about the game being delayed, because my first fundamental question was, but why is it running on next gen consoles at the moment?
When you said you weren't
doing that, yeah. Because then it brings up some awkward, uncomfortable questions about crunch. And speaking of awkward, uncomfortable questions about crunch, here's my second question. I just thought of it. Now I've just lost it again. I couldn't remember it, and then I remembered it. And then
Isn't it like your third question? Because
you answered my first question. Well, you sort of before. God damn it, man! You've done a me on you. You've done a me on you. I was building. That was it. Because it goes back again to the delay, the last delay. That delayed the game to November, which was a quote from, I want to say Adam Kaczynski. During an investors call. It was when they announced that they were going to have to do mandatory crunch. And they ended that. Well, you didn't end it, but a part of that statement was that they couldn't do anything. Like, they tried their hardest to avoid crunching. They couldn't do anything but crunch. They had to crunch. All of their options were gone. And I think you'll remember, Moody, we both said on a podcast, not all your options are gone. You didn't delay the game. The game couldn't be delayed. That's what we were told last time.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, you're spot on there. I didn't remember that. Yeah, you spot on. We said multiple times there's a lot. You didn't explore all options at all because you could delay it.
But we were told that the game couldn't be delayed. Just like we were told that the Xbox One wouldn't work without a Kinect. And here we are.
Then I'll still say put it to 2021.
Here we are, some time later, the CD Projekt Red developers crunching away because their game couldn't be delayed. And now the game's been delayed.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this is my then Alpha question is to them, okay, so PC, it works. Fine and dandy, you say, apparently. Next-gen consoles, works. Fine and dandy, you say. Even though those aren't coming until next year. What if you guys are not able to find, within the next 3 weeks, and fix the problems on the next-gen consoles?
Yeah. 3 weeks isn't a long time. 3 weeks isn't a long time.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. 3 weeks is not a long time at all. And you're going to be crunching like crazy, which you have already been doing. So my question is, what happens if that doesn't work? What happens? What do you do then? Do you just release it? And you release Cyberpunk on the original, on the latest console, on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and it doesn't work very well? Or do you delay it again to next year, which I still think you should do, just to give yourselves that more time, and maybe just push it all together to make it to come out with the next gen versions all together? Which one is it? Which one? Well, that's the question I'm now curious about this. Which one are you going to do? What if you can't get it fixed in time? I'm not saying you haven't got an incredible team. We all know you have an incredible team. But right now, we all know at the same time, your incredible team has been crunching for an entire year. What now? What then? You've delayed and delayed and delayed, and you're forcing the crunch and crunch even more. For me, at least if you pushed it into 2021, at least April 2021, yes, they would still be crunching, but the crunching would not be as harsh as what they're going to be doing between now and the next 3 weeks. And we all know that.
Well, I mean, it's not even really 3 weeks because they have to submit the patch to the consoles, get it certified, get it uploaded.
So it's even less. It's probably 2 weeks.
It's less time than the release date.
It's probably 2 weeks.
And the game's already gone gold, so the game's on.
That's the thing about it,
on discs, apparently, supposedly. I've never heard of a game that's on gold being delayed. I'm going to say it right now.
So the only thing I can think of is that they've already got it in to go in for certification and everything like that, and they're expecting to release a giant ass update on release.
Yeah.
For PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One.
So you better hope So you better hope you've got an internet connection when you get your Cyberpunk disc, because you're going to need one. Because it doesn't sound like this game works if you don't have an internet connection.
I'll say this right now. Thank you for giving me this. Thank you for telling me this, CD Projekt Red, because I'm now getting Cyberpunk on PC. I'm not going to get it on the console. You've come out and said that it works on PC perfectly fine. So I'm literally like, I'm going to PC. I was already contemplating it either way, and I was probably going to lean to it anyway. But I'm now just decided I'm just going to go to PC. Screw it.
Damn it!
And then also,
damn it, CD Projekt Red. We need to get more people playing on consoles, not less. Oh, but then lost another one to the PC.
But then it goes back to the argument. Then what about the? I know this at the end of the day, this doesn't make that big of a deal for us or anything like that because we were already going to play the game whenever anyway. But then what about the reviewers and all like that? The reviewers, I mean, like that, like they're going to be like, what version of this game are they going to be getting here? And
well, you can't give them a day one patch. Like, okay, so
yeah, so I'm going to say that's what I'm saying. How broken is the game going to be for them? Because they're either going to be playing it on PC or they're going to be trying it on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4.
Okay, so let me get some insider baseball on you, because I can actually do things. Like sometimes my insider knowledge will come in handy. So I'm in quote unquote with the PR company that's been doing PR for Cyberpunk. They don't have code requests open yet for Cyberpunk 2077. Now, whether CD Projekt Red themselves are going to be handling review requests or not, I don't know. Well, that's all I can tell you on that front. Right now, the code requests are not open. As far as review copies go, like it's what? I mean, it's what, a month and a half before the game comes out? No one's got review code yet. So, depending on when the patch lands. Like, let's say they send it out 3 weeks before the game comes out. So, ironically, the original release date of the game. The guys that get it, if the day one patch isn't ready, they're getting the vanilla game. Like, they're getting whatever's on the disc. Whatever's gone gold, quote unquote. Because it's happened to me plenty of times. Where it's like, you get a game, and there will be a day one patch, and it'll be like in the email, there will be a day one patch, here's the stuff it'll fix. So, like, you'll get a list of things, and it'll be like, oh, I've run into an issue, and say the game crashes in a certain place, and I'll bring up the thing, and I'll look at it, and I'll go, no, that's being fixed in the day one patch. That's how these things have worked for me in the past before.
Yeah.
But right now, except maybe like bigger, like really big companies, people, reviewers, content creators, influencers, whatnot, like the way I would get Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm looking at it right now on this PR company's website, it's not, and it's been updated with the new release date. The code request's not available, so I don't think anybody's got a copy of it yet.
Okay. It's fun. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens.
Interesting is one word for it. But like, I don't know if we still have that phase where it's like, will they just be like, oh, but there's a day one patch coming, so we'll forgive some stuff in our reviews, and then the day one patch doesn't fix half as much as they hoped it would fix because they had to rush it out, because going into the weeds now. I'm coming back. I'm coming back, Mary. Pull me back out.
Yeah.
Didn't use that much effort. Not that fat.
Gonna see you lighter than I thought.
We need to talk about what Adam Kaczynski said to Infestus yesterday. Direct quote, regarding crunch, actually, it's not that bad, and never was. Of course, it's a story that has been picked up by the media, and some people have been crunching heavily, but a large part of the team is not crunching at all since they have finished their work. It's mostly about Q&A and engineers and programmers, but it's not that heavy, of course. Of course, it will be extended a bit, but we have feedback from the team. They're happy about the extra 3 weeks work. So we don't see any threats regarding crunch. Sound like a fucking Donald Trump quote. We've got the best crunch, the greatest crunch. That was Adam Kaczynski. Shit, I forgot his name.
No, if you're going to do it right, do
Adam
it right.
Kaczynski.
We have the best team. We have the best QAs.
Everybody happy to crunch.
Everybody's happy. Like, we have the best team. It's going to get 10 out of 10 from everybody because we've already paid them and everything like that. So don't worry. We're good.
Yeah, that was what Adam Kaczynski said to investors. And then Jason Schreier got hold of an email that was sent out later in the day.
Pretty fast.
Later in the day to CD Projekt Red employees, which said, "Dear all, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to apologize to everyone for what I said during Tuesday's investor conference call. I had not wanted to comment on crunch, yet I still did, and I did it in a demeaning and harmful way. Truth be told, it's only now, when the stress connected with the delay decision and the call itself is lifting, that I'm fully realizing the true extent of my words. I have nothing to say in my defense. What I said was not even unfortunate. It was utterly bad. For that, please accept my most sincere and honest apologies. I always was, and still am, proud of the heart and soul you put into what you do every day. Yours humbly, Adam. P.S. If anyone wants to talk with me directly, I'm in the boardroom on the first floor and on Slack." Crunch is fine.
Yeah, crunch is fine.
Crunch is fine.
Crunch is fine. Hasn't been too bad at all. Wasn't
everybody loves crunch.
Yeah, everyone loves crunch. Yeah. I love it so much. That's why I wasn't on last week. I decided I love crunch more than being on Amy's podcast.
Yeah.
You're
not talking about crunch this week, then I'm not going to be on your podcast.
Yeah. I want to tell you how much I loved it.
That's what he said, word for word. Either you talk about crunch or you find yourself a new co-host. And I went, all right. I did.
Yeah. And then he realized then she realized that she needs me back. So
you came crawling back. What a fucking dick.
I was going to use better words than more.
Nah,
less colourful metaphor words than that.
I said a few weeks ago, I'm sick of pussyfooting around.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, it is a lot of bollocks. This, and we all know it is, ladies and gentlemen. You can't take anything from this at all, apart from this is a lot of bollocks. And I'm just going to say right now to anyone, and I've seen idiots online, and I mean idiots. Well, it's the internet. There's idiots online.
Where? What? But, I've never seen what?
Yeah, where? Nothing like that. To just try and defend the crunch. Piss off. I'm just saying that right now. Piss off. I'm like you. I'm just gonna say screw it. I can't bother anymore. Just piss off. You guys clearly have no idea when it comes to crunch. You have no idea the people I've spoken to myself. Not as many to what Jason Stadia has or anything like that. I don't deny that. But people who have worked in crunch and everything like that and who despise it. No, you have no idea.
I have something for those idiots lying around here somewhere.
Is it a fist? Or
I had it specially. I had it lying around specially for up there. Found it. Wasn't intending for that bit to go on as long as it did, but you kept talking and I was committed.
Yeah, I have to be committed. Yeah, I respect the commit. How much you were committed there. But yeah, it is a joke. We all can appreciate that crunch is in all type of businesses and like that. It's like, it shouldn't be in any business at all. I don't care anymore about this type of thing. It is getting now to beyond a joke where it's just like you had arguably two of the biggest companies this year, Naughty Dog and CD Projekt Red, who have been smashed over crunch, have been smashed about it. And they've deserved it. And hopefully they're both going to sort themselves out and everything like that. But this is now getting beyond a bloody joke. And it just baffles the crap out of me to the levels of like, these are two of the biggest companies in the world. One of them owned by one of the biggest gaming studios in the world in Sony. And they can't manage themselves properly. Where is the management structure here? What is the timeline? Why are you why can't you just nail your, okay, how long do we want to exhaust our team? No. Okay, we're going to, instead of put it out in June, we're going to put it out in November. Will it make life easy for our team? Can we overall guarantee this is going to be done over? But then, yes, have a talk with the staff and everything like that, and they'll give you a true-on answer. But clearly, these staff are a little bit worried about their jobs and everything, and you shouldn't be worried about your bloody job. You shouldn't be crunching and be worrying about your job and saying, yes, I'm sick of the thing. Like I remember when I was growing up years ago, asked the question of basically, and now looking back at that, I was like, I won't lie, I'll hold my hand up. Years ago, when I heard this, I was thinking, oh yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I can understand it. You want to give your all to the company and everything like that. So basically, the same was saying I've always heard in my life is, if the boss asks you to jump and your reply is how high? No, not anymore. My question would be back is, you jump then, boy. I'm not going to jump for you. It's a load of bollocks. It is absolutely bollocks. Yeah, you first. You first. Come on. Yeah, it's anyone who defends this is a joke to me. Absolute joke. And like we've said multiple occasions, you can still be excited for all these games that are coming out. Every company who's had bad publicity, CD Projekt Red, Naughty Dog, Ubisoft, Activision, EA, etc. You are allowed to be excited for their games. We are excited about some of their games and everything like that. But at the end of the day, they deserve to be called out and should be called out. And I'm calling out every single podcast out there, every single news site who doesn't talk about this. Shame on you all.
You fucking dickheads. I got you.
Oh, there's another terrible thing now where the internet decided to go crazy again.
Speaking of fucking dickheads, Cyberpunk 2077 devs are getting death threats over the delay. This is from Natalie Clayton over at PC Gamer, who writes, last week, CD Projekt Red announced there'd be one last delay at Cyberpunk 2077. Despite going gold in September, the developer reckoned it needed a few more weeks to bring all the current and next-gen versions of the game up to scratch. Sadly, if predictably, this led to a whole lot of flack being sent towards individual developers, with senior game designer Andrzej Zawadski taking to Twitter to push back against unacceptable death threats. Much of the motivation behind the vitriol stems from the idea that CD Projekt deceived fans over promises not to postpone the game again. One tweet in particular has been bandied around, an unfortunately timed reply to a fan assuring there'd be no delays a day before yesterday's announcement. Corporations aren't singular entities, of course. In a reply, Fabian Mario Dola, who posted that promise from the @Cyberpunk game handle, explained that the delay wasn't free knowledge at the time of posting, leading to an unfortunate assurance. Quote, "Thing is, we are a publicly traded company, and it's almost impossible to tell every employee beforehand," Dollar tweeted. Mainly because of legal reasons. Long story short, CP Twitter did not lie on purpose. I simply didn't know. Apologies. End quote. You don't have to apologize for.
You don't have to apologize at all about this. The people who should be apologizing right now is the people who have been giving death threats to your staff. This is disgusting. You cross a line here and you do not deserve to play this game. If you're going to give death threats to any member of any team out there, they do not deserve this at all. It's already been facts. The team had no idea this was going to happen. They didn't find out until we found out. Shame on anybody who has done this, sent a death threat to any single person in this team or any other team out there. You should be ashamed of yourself. You call yourself a gamer, this is not what a gamer does. You call yourself a human being, this is not what a human being shouldn't do. Shame on you all.
Yeah. Fucking dickheads. I feel like I'm just going to sit here and agree with you by shouting fucking dickheads at the end of every thing you say. You're right. Nothing I can really add to that. I don't want those people anywhere near me or my hobby. Fuck them. Oh, fucking dicks. Like, we were laughing about it on the podcast last week when they did the PS5, PlayStation 4 Black Lives Matter theme.
Yeah, the idiots who were screaming.
Well, I'll buy an Xbox then. Well, Xbox do Black Lives Matter too. I'll get Nintendo. Nintendo do it as well. Wouldn't it be a shame if these gamers had nowhere to play games anymore? It'd be a shame that they can't just like IP trace trolls who send death threats to the staff working on the game and somehow ban them from playing the game so they can never play the game. Be like, you're getting delayed. Your Cyberpunk's getting delayed for you indefinitely. Fuck nuts. That'd be great. I'd love that.
Something needs to happen. I don't know how it will happen or anything like that. But when it comes to social media and these type of things out there, something has to happen where you're able to find out who these people are and get the police involved properly here. It's getting now beyond a joke. It's happened a lot.
Yeah, like we talked about it a lot.
Normal. How crazy is that?
Like a thing happens, like Cyberpunk 2077 is delayed. And like when you see the delay, like when we see the delay, usually because one of the other posts on group chat, and then when we see it, and then like you just wait for the inevitable, and then there were death threats, follow-up news story, and that's just fucking shit. I hate it. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just beyond a joke now.
Yeah.
You are privileged to play these games. Just so you know that, ladies and gentlemen. We're all privileged. They couldn't do that. They could, if they wanted to, they don't have to give you this game at all. At all. They know they could make they could probably throw this on PC and they would financially be fine.
Yeah, that's where The Witcher started.
Yeah.
And The Witcher 2 was an Xbox 360 console exclusive, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
Great game.
Was indeed.
Let's move on. I've scrolled too far down. I was like, wait, that story is way too positive. Ah, there it is. We're not out of the woods yet. Come on.
Oh, come on.
This one's just gonna be laugh at the idiot. Google distances itself from Stadia creative director Alex Hutchinson. This is from James Batchelor over at gamesindustry.biz, who writes, Google has distanced itself from a key individual in its Stadia games business following backlash against his views on streamers expressed via Twitter. Alex Hutchinson, creative director of Stadia Games and Entertainment's Montreal studio, formerly known as Typhoon Studios, commented on Twitch's recent clampdown on videos using copyrighted music, suggesting that streaming gameplay is a similar violation. Quote, streamers worried about getting their content pulled because they used music they didn't pay for should be worried by the fact that they're streaming games that they didn't pay for as well.
Oh, this is this guy.
It's all gone as soon as publishers decide to enforce it. The real truth is the streamers should be paying the developers and publishers of the games they stream. I don't know why I just suddenly had to go into that voice, but it just gets more idiotic with every sentence. They should be buying a license like any real business and paying for the content that they use. The tweets received a negative response from various corners of the industry, and even Google has spoken out against him. Speaking to 9 to 5 Google, a spokesperson said, quote, the recent tweets by Alex Hutchinson do not reflect those of Stadia, YouTube, or Google. No kidding. Meanwhile, Google's global head of gaming for YouTube, Ryan Wyatt, tweeted, quote, we believe that publishers and creators have a wonderful symbiotic relationship that has allowed a thriving ecosystem to be created. One that has mutually benefited everyone. YouTube is focused on creating value for creators, publishers, and users. All ships rise when we work together. End quote. Yeah, it's this guy. Do you know what else this guy just said? Wait, you like this one? Because I told you about this earlier in the year, and you were like, oh, I never heard of that. And I was like, I bring it up all the time. This guy, Alex Hutchinson, used to work at Ubisoft before he worked at Typhoon Studios, now Google Stadia's, whatever, Montreal studio. And he was the one who said the quote about Assassin's Creed Unity that they couldn't have a female playable character because it would cost you much, and it would be too much work to animate them. It's the same person. The same person said this.
Good God.
Womp womp.
Good God, this guy is clearly losing his sanity from coming out of stupid stuff like that. Okay, so this is a completely stupid statement, as we already know. He's already said like this, like multiple times. I have played games because of streamers and content creators out there.
Hey, Moody, we put out two. I know you went on one, right? But last week we put out our two usual podcasts: the review show and the podcast itself. And there was one thing that they both had in common, and that was a common game. That was the main topic of both episodes.
Among Us.
Yeah. How did we and everybody in the world learn about Among Us again? I'm gonna try and remember.
Because of a streamer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I've stated multiple times, I got an Xbox One because of our friend MC Fixer. I've said on multiple occasions. Because of his passion and pushing for this console and this brand in general made me get the console and everything like that. And I haven't looked back since. Even though I have kind of forgot about it because of this beautiful thing next to me. But
PlayStation 5 already?
No, I haven't. I better put that out there.
Yeah,
first.
no, you can't. Yeah, we better not joke about that.
Can't joke on the internet.
PlayStation 5 already.
No. Yeah. It's. I've played games because of you, Celeste, Dead Cells, two of the best games of 2018.
Some damn good games.
This is just.
Damn, I've got good taste, haven't I?
You're not bad, Amy. You're not bad at all. This is just an idiot statement coming from an idiot.
Yeah. No, like
clearly. Yeah,
I mean, like as somebody who does give, and let's be real here, like content creation is entertainment is entertainment or informative, right? It's one or the other. Sometimes it's both.
Yeah.
And obviously there's other but those are the two main things, right? But it's like the third main thing that it is, it's also free advertising. Like, for whatever company, right? Whether it's a big game or a tiny game. If I choose to talk about a game on the weekly review, or I choose to stream a game on Twitch, I am advertising that game. And I'm using it for my own benefit to get content, to get subscribers, to get followers, to make money. But like I'm also advertising the game, right? Like you just said it right there. Like you've bought games because I've made videos about them going, this is amazing, which is, Dead Cells and Celeste was basically what those videos were when I made them.
Well, so that's all she said. That's all it was in the video. This is amazing. Go buy it now.
Here's 7 minutes of gameplay to make it look like I said a lot on the video when I really
did. I was really busy on this. And I had many thoughts. No, it's awesome. Go get it.
Yeah, like I streamed a shit ton of Dead Cells when it came out in 2018. Like, I think I put like 20-30 hours on Twitch on that game, as well as obviously making the video. And like I've been messaged by people or like tweeted at by people who said, I'm buying this game. Oh right, I bought this game because you said it was good. Or oh right, you all sorts of messages with a similar sort of tone. It's a great message to receive, by the way. You should definitely send it to everybody. If anyone influences your decision to buy a game through like the work that they make, do like with a tweet or a video or a stream or something, you should tell them, because it's a great feeling to be like listened to and heard. But like like if all that went away, like I mean for starters, if all that went away, like the dude works for Stadia. So if all that went away, Stadia would probably go away. But like
Stadia's main thing was pushing towards the the creators.
Yeah, like you can watch the stream and push a button and boom, you play the game. But like no company is gonna revoke this license because it's free advertising. It's so baked into the ecosystem of gaming. PlayStation put a button on their controller for it. Like you can literally push a button and stream a game.
Haven't Xbox done that for the new one?
I don't know. I haven't got an
It does
Xbox
something
Series
similar.
X.
I think it's pretty much similar. I think it's pretty much something similar.
This was
It's like
the
a
only
share
one I
button.
had.
I think it's called a share button.
It's right there. It's the share button. I've pushed this button so many times to share content. I mean, I have a more complicated setup for streaming and stuff, but you know, because I'm a professional, unlike Alex Hutchinson, who is just a moron. I couldn't believe what I was reading when I read it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like I say. I'm very distant when it comes to like staying on social media and everything like that and seeing stupid things like this. But I saw it. I only saw it because of our friend MC Visser, because he even had said something on it as well, and I was just like, "What's this about?" I was looking at it. I was thinking, "Well, that does sound stupid." I didn't even say that out loud.
No, out loud. That's the stupidest thing I've read all week.
Yeah, until Cyberpunk came out.
Yeah.
And everything. So,
it's close. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's just
what a dumbass.
My question is, how's this dumbass still in the industry? That's my question.
He's a white, straight, cisgendered male. You can only fail upwards.
I'm not going to touch that.
Very few do. Should we move on? That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, that's a whole different topic, that Amy. I'm not.
True though. Let's move on though. Xbox. I was gonna do a segue about how like let's move on to talk about a white straight cisgender male.
I knew you were thinking it.
Who is okay in my book. Xbox boss Phil Spencer teases streaming sticks in Xbox Game Pass Platinum. This is from Wesley Ian Poole over at Eurogamer, who writes, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has teased the launch of streaming sticks for xCloud, as well as a new tier of Xbox Game Pass membership. In an interview with some website, Spencer said streaming sticks could be used to plug into TVs in order to play games via xCloud. Quote, I think you're going to see lower price hardware as part of our ecosystem when you think about streaming sticks and other things that somebody might want to just go plug into their TV and go play via xCloud. End quote. Spencer said via The Verge. It's not an end quote, he keeps going. You can imagine us even having something that we just included in the Game Pass subscription that gave you an ability to stream xCloud games to your television and buying the controller. That's the end of the quote. According to a report by Windows Central, Microsoft worked on a streaming dongle similar to Chromecast. It was even set to reveal it at E3 2016, but it failed to materialize. Perhaps now, 4 years later, the time is right. Spencer also teased the launch of new tiers of Xbox Game Pass membership, including Xbox Game Pass Platinum. This would include free guaranteed access to new Xbox hardware. As The Verge points out, Xbox All Access is an existing payment plan that includes either an Xbox Series X or S and 24 months of Game Pass Ultimate. That'd be good, man. That'd be good. Give me that shit. Xbox Game Pass Platinum comes with hardware? Fucking yes, I'll have that. One Xbox for Life pass, please. Because that's essentially what it is, right? Like, they released the Xbox Series Z in like 2023, 2024, and you're an Xbox Game Pass Platinum member, and they're like, cool, we're shipping you it. And I'm like, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
I'll take it.
Like,
that's cool. Like, yeah, I mean, that's not the main part of the focus of this story, but for me, it would be the main thing. I'm just like, that'd be so cool. Like, to just pay a monthly subscription for Game Pass and also, like, not worry about like where I'm getting a console from to play it, because the Medium is an Xbox Series X/S exclusive game and PC obviously.
No.
And I was like, I tried it because you can pre-install it now on Game Pass, and I tried.
I've been trying. My console will not allow it.
I tried it, and my console was like, nah, you need to say the magic word. I'm like, oh man, it's happening already.
So I'm going to try and download it on my PC.
Yeah, I'm just going to go on my PC as well. But it's like, I think my PC is... Because my PC is not advanced anymore. And I remember the Medium where it's like, it's 2 game worlds where you can switch between loading... And it's like, my PC might melt through the floor if I try to play this game. But I'm going to find out. Nah, this isn't mint. I'll just play it via xCloud. This is really cool though. Like an idea. And I called the streaming sticks thing when we talked about it earlier in the year, and I said they could release something that's basically a Chromecast stick.
Yep. They're going for all aspects to make it as easy as they can give you it. Fire Stick, got it. You want a console? Okay, we've got a cheap one for $250. What? Really? That's fantastic. You want a more powerful one? You got for $500. Wait, well, what? That's that's not bad, though. You want a PC? Wait, I've already got a PC and it's pretty darn good. All you have to do is all you need is Game Pass. What? Really?
What? Hold on. You got a mobile phone in your pocket? Booyah, bitch! You already got Game Pass in your pocket. What up, fools?
And then someone idiot will be like this. Wait, I've got a PlayStation 5. Can I use it? No.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
I've got Nintendo Switch. Can I play it? Maybe one day. I kind of think that might happen.
Maybe.
It seems like that they are I think they are trying Microsoft's with Nintendo. Sony are like like that basically right now. But yeah. This is a fantastic Phil Spencer again. Everyone I think not raised the eyebrow when he was put in charge. But everyone was just like, what can this guy actually be? What can he do? And everything like that. Because obviously, the year before, he was arguably the most genuine looking guy in the E3 conference they had, surrounded by all the suits and everything. I remember he's the poor bastard who would have to come out and say, we're launching the Xbox One at $499, $499, and just the audible. Yeah, there was no cheating, ladies and gentlemen, unlike the PlayStation 4 reveal at $399 a couple of hours later.
My reaction to Phil Spencer being given the job was, he's not Don Matrick. Huzzah! There will be cheering in the streets tonight for Don Matrick is fucked off to Zynga.
Is that place still good?
No.
Oh, Smeg. He literally went, I've left this place burning. Now I'm going to burn another place. And I actually did succeed this time. But no, yeah.
I mean, it is, but it tanked for some mysterious reason. Don't know why that could have been.
Yes, Phil Spencer's done an amazing job, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do for next gen and everything like that. You can see he's literally like a child at Christmas right now. He's going on podcasts all over the place, answering as many questions that he can feasibly answer and everything. And he's just doing, he's
gets
all
in
over
on the Devolver Digital insanity, E3 insanity.
Yeah, it's like, respect to this man. He's doing an amazing job. And that's the thing about it. Like, that's one thing that what is right now is sadly is missing what we've said on multiple occasions when it comes to PlayStation. Jim Ryan just looks like a corporate guy. And like when we heard that Sean Layden left and everything like that, we were just like, oh,
sorry.
Oh, Sean, we could see, even though you looked like a corporate guy, you had that little bit of charm in you and everything. And then when you heard he left, you were like, no, we liked you.
You look like one of them, but you talk like one of us.
It was
the whole cast of Sony executives from years. It's years ago now, but it's like Sean Layden, Adam Boyes, Gio Corsi. Like Gio Corsi would walk around. He'd come out every PSX, every E3, Gamescom, Paris Games Week. Gio Corsi comes out, and he'd have the Vita in his pocket ready.
Yeah.
For the announcement, it'd be like, "This game's coming to PS4." And Vita, because he knew his audience. And shit like that was cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Adam Boyes, like, the shit-eating grin on his face when he knew he was introducing Final Fantasy VII Remake for the first time.
Oh, hell yeah. He was just like, are you ready, motherfuckers?
Like, you ain't ready for this one.
You were pissed 6 months ago when you thought this remaster was just... Wait, what? That's all you're giving us? Ha! 6 months later. Even though it took 4 years later to get the bloody thing.
PlayStation lacks a bit of personality now. Like this, they've got their personalities. Like Corey Barlog and Neil Druckmann and Herman Hulse, but they're not like out in front of fans. And I know that's difficult in this current modern day and age because of global pandemics and whatnot, but like they're not out in front of the fans like the old guard were, like Adam and Sean and everybody else, which is a little bit disappointing because like you've got to have these people to rally. I feel like you've got to have these people to rally around.
Yeah.
Nintendo showed the way with like Iwata and Reggie and Miyamoto and Ayanuma, you know what I mean? Like they had the people to rally around and they were personable. And then it felt like PlayStation followed that model and it worked for them. But now it feels like they've gone back on it and they're not following that model anymore, which is a shame. And I know everything's a bit iffy at the moment, but yeah.
I guess like a shoe sighting is like it's like looking for the Loch Ness.
Hey, like yeah, right? Like what the fuck, shoe?
A rare shoe sighting. There he is.
He's always just so happy to be here.
He is, yeah. Now he's never around.
Now he just does Fall Guys updates on his Twitter feed.
He does.
Did I win today? And you watch them and you're like, did he win? Is he gonna win? And he didn't win, and you go, "Ah, you'll get him next time, Shu."
Let's move on to some interesting news when it comes to Halo.
Yeah, I'm just deleting the one after it because
that's not that important.
No. Studio director Chris Lee steps back from Halo Infinite. This is from Rebecca Valentine over at GamesIndustry.biz, who writes, 343 Industries studio director Chris Lee is no longer working on Halo Infinite. Lee and Microsoft confirmed his departure from the project to Bloomberg, though he remains a Microsoft employee. Quote, "I have stepped back from Infinite and I'm looking at future opportunities," Lee said it in a statement. "I believe in the team and I'm confident they will deliver a great game, and now is a good time for me to step away." End quote. Lee was first appointed as 343 Industries studio head in 2017 following the departure of Dan Ayub to work on educational mixed reality initiatives elsewhere within Microsoft. Prior to that, he was the executive producer on Halo 5 and has been working with 343 since 2008. Lee's departure comes just 1 month after longtime Halo developer and writer Joseph Staten was brought back to serve as project lead for the game's single-player campaign to get the game back on track following its delay from an Xbox Series launch title into 2021. At the same time, Pierre Hintz was also brought in to lead development of the game's multiplayer experience. Halo Infinite has seen a number of high-profile departures through its recent development, including lead producer Mary Olsen in October of last year and creative director Tim Longo the month before that.
I have one question here, Amy, right now. Is Halo Infinite actually going to hit 2021? This is like basically getting the big boys out who were running it over 343, who basically did Halo 4 and Halo 5, and obviously
4, not 5. 4,
5, and we all know how mixed reaction that was for that one, especially for the story at least. And now they get rid of those, and they're bringing back the old guard to try and right the ship. And I'm just curious, how different is this game going to look when we see it again, which we're guessing is probably going to be E3 next year, if there is an E3 next year or whatever.
There'll be summer of whatever.
Yeah, you know, so that's my question is like all of this is a lot of things that are happening right now at 343, and it just makes me wonder, like we've just been talking about, like with CD Projekt Red, of the hard-ass crunch and everything like that. If they want to get this out for 2021, which we're all guessing is probably going to be fall 2021, especially what sounds like with all these changes, what's going to happen. This seems probably going to crunch from now all the way to the end of until 2021, the end of 2021, depending on what they're doing. Unless they like we got to just stretch this out and just take the hit and maybe push it to 2022, and I'm just like, my goodness and all that. But
it depends on the scope of the changes. They've probably got most of the assets they need in place for the game at this point, because it wasn't until not that long ago when they delayed it anyway. Like when they did the last game showcase, they were still saying November, Hey, Halo. But I think they've got a lot of assets. I don't know what the problem is. It's impossible to figure out what is wrong with the game because there's clearly something wrong with the game. It's been delayed indefinitely. Multiple creative leads at 343 have departed, and new people have been brought in to oversee the game. But because those new people who have been brought in to oversee the game are overseeing the entire game, like it's not like it's just if Joe Staten had just come in to work on the single player campaign, you could look and go, okay, cool. There's something with the single player campaign that they want to change, fix, whatever. But like they've brought in people to oversee the entire game, and Halo Infinite is essentially two separate games. Let's not forget. The single player campaign is the single player campaign. It's going to be the basis of Halo for the next 10 years, which sounds like a live service game to me. And then the multiplayer portion of the game was going to be free to play, and pretty much separate, kind of like Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Call of Duty Warzone. They could release them independently if they wanted to, but they don't want to. And like without knowing what the problems are, it's kind of impossible to speculate. I think they're going to be aiming for November 2021. I don't think this is a February, March. Oh, we're just pushing it back a few months. I think this is a cool. See you next holiday. That's what the conversation around this game is. And cool. Like, take your time. Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I'm not worried yet. I'll be worried if we don't see the game next summer. Or I'll be worried if we see the game next summer and it's like a teaser. That's when I'll be like, okay, this game probably ain't coming out in 2021.
Yeah, next time we see this, you got to think they're going to probably show us a meaty mission or something like that, something big to give you this type of thing.
That's what we just saw, right? Like we just saw the big gameplay reveal, and like it looked like, okay, graphics aside, which graphics can be polished up, like it looked pretty good. Like it had it went back to a lot of the Halo fundamentals, right? Like. And just in terms of the core gameplay, which is the only thing we really saw, like, yeah, it looked pretty good. I was excited, so. And my cold, dead heart doesn't get excited all that often about games anymore these days.
That is true. She has a cold, dead heart, Liz. No, she admits it, see?
I denied it.
Yeah, I'm just like we've just, like you and me have just, and Keith just gone through the Halo franchise apart from 5 and everything, and I was getting a little bit like thinking, Halo Infinite, I could use that type of game to have a good go at it again and everything like that. Like you and me play it, maybe even Keith and everything. If you could do the multiplayer thing for the story and everything,
yeah, we would.
And
staple of the franchise at this point.
Yeah, and I was kind of getting a little bit intrigued and a little bit hyped for it, and then it was just delayed, and then all these things have now coming out of like this person's left now, this person's left, and etc. And I'm just like,
I think we need to see it again, right? Like,
yeah,
I think what we need to do is we need to take everything that we've seen of Halo Infinite prior to the delay and just put it on a shelf and just be like, cool, that was the before times, right? BJ before Joe, and now we'll see it again, and we'll judge. I think we need to just judge it like on a clean slate from what we see next. Whenever we see it, whatever, like whenever we see whatever's next.
My question still is though, how bad is this? How bad are they crunching?
Yeah,
that is the question. Like I'm gonna like I've just said, like, but on the previous couple of stories, like I'm sick of like beating about the bush about this. So my question will be, how bad are you crunching? How bad are you? If this game is going to be fundamentally different, and it just sounds like that's what seems like they're doing it. They're completely, that's not what they've said, but just because of all the stories that have come out on this person leaving and this person leaving, I just have it in my head right now. It just seems like they're doing a full rewrite of the script, or at least taking out a lot of it and rewriting it and redoing a lot of game parts of it and everything. And I just when I hear that in my head, I'm just literally thinking, this may be longer delay than we're actually thinking here, ladies and gentlemen. And like we've said, yeah, with a delay, that's fine, it's no problem. But you got to make sure your balance is right, that your team aren't crunching, because you can hurt your staff, and we know they can.
As long as it's more like Halo 4. Controversial opinion over. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I'll say right now, story-wise, that is a fantastic story compared to the rest of them. The rest of them suck. In a story-wise.
Yeah. I have that one. Story-wise. Next up.
I could go further, but I'm not going to, because I feel like
could go for it. It wouldn't be worth it. Next up, PlayStation Plus collection games confirmed. So I got a list in front of me, Moody.
Yes, you do.
It's all the games you get if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber when PS5 comes out. It's a hell of a list. Let me read it.
If you haven't played these games, there are some sexy ass titles on that. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah, Batman: Arkham Knight, Battlefield 1, Bloodborne, Game of the Generation, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies Chronicles Edition, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Days Gone, Detroit Become Human, Fallout 4, that joke got away from me, I apologize. Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, God of War, Infamous Second Son,
Game of the Generation,
Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat X, Persona 5, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, The Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, Until Dawn. It's a great list.
It's a fantastic list. There are some
disappointed
so many games.
Disappointed that the full Uncharted experience isn't included.
Yeah, I can agree with you there. I was a bit surprised that they just haven't put that all together in that.
But like, I can't complain, right? Like, as someone who is a PS Plus subscriber, I mean, I own quite a lot of the games on this list anyway. But that is one hell of a fucking list. Like, you're telling me I'm gonna get, like, if I was completely new to the PlayStation ecosystem, and you're telling me that for $7.99, I'm gonna get Bloodborne, and God of War, and Persona 5, and The Last of Us, and Uncharted 4, and Until Dawn, which will be games I have never played because I've never been on a PlayStation 4. Like, hot damn, sign me up.
Yeah. There's like Monster Hunter World is arguably one of the biggest games this generation. It's one of the biggest games Capcom have ever released.
I was focusing on
arguably. Yeah, I know that. I'm throwing out other games here. Resident Evil 7 is arguably the game that brought Resident Evil back out for everybody. Oh, God, I know there's a lot of... Yeah.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
The previous game of that was Umbrella Corps.
Yeah. You've got some very intriguing... Like, you've got arguably Battlefield's best game. Battlefield 1. I love Battlefield 1. I thought that was...
Battlefield 1 was great.
Yeah. You've got that on there. You got the Arkham Knight, the inclusion of the Rocksteady trilogy and everything like that. It didn't work for me, but a lot of people still enjoyed it. And it's still Batman. You get to be Batman. You can't ask for much more than that. Yeah, they've got some kick-ass games out there. Like, you got Days Gone, which is... I haven't played, so I can't comment on that one. I hear mixed things. Detroit Become Human. I love Detroit Become Human. I thought it was a phenomenal game. And
it's about racism. Do you get it? It's about racism. Sorry. That was what the experience of playing the game was like for me. Literally.
You're not wrong.
It's just the game screaming over and over again. Do you get it yet? Do you get it?
And then you've got some of the oldies but classics in Ratchet and Clank and Crash Bandicoot: The Insane Trilogy, which all did very well.
And you got the new that I'm not against the game being about racism. I hated Detroit Become Human for the way in which it presented itself being about racism. Sorry, you may continue.
The game didn't work for you. That's fine. The game didn't work for you.
No, I just thought I'd better clarify that. I'm not.
We know racism. Internet. They can take things the wrong way. We know that. But yeah, that's an amazing trilogy. That's not trilogy. It's an amazing collection of games.
Oh, 1000%. That's fucking ridiculous. We haven't even gotten to the best part yet. about being a PS Plus subscriber day one on PS5. That's coming up, though.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want to read this last news story?
No,
I do,
not
actually.
really.
I'm just going to read the headline, and then we're going to laugh. Get ready? We'll throw your head back and laugh.
Okay.
Deleting your Facebook account forfeits Oculus VR games you already paid for. Facebook. Jesus Christ. Do you remember when Oculus was like a good platform? The worst part is they've just released the best, like, not the most powerful, but like one of the best like commercial user friendly VR headsets.
No, the wireless one.
The Quest 2, like no wires, no computer. You get the headset, you stick it on, you make space, and you go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I was talking to you about it, like where I was like, if I don't get my PS5 pre-order locked in, I might get a Quest 2.
Yeah, you did.
Because that's such a good piece of kit. And then now last week, I was looking up trading prices for the Oculus Rift I've got to see if I could trade in for a PlayStation VR. Because I'm just like, nope, I'm out of this. Fuck this shit. This is ridiculous. Like, you can't use your Oculus Quest if you don't have a Facebook account. Right? And you know how shitty a company Facebook is. Like, if you don't have a Facebook account, fair enough. But if you want to use your Oculus, you can't use it unless you have a Facebook account. You can't use it. It's a paperweight. But then it's like, if you delete your Facebook account, you lose all your games that you've paid for. So here's a question on top of a question, Moody. What happens if Facebook goes under? You gonna lose all your Oculus games?
Yeah.
Facebook finally gets taken down, like hoisted by its own petard, shall we say. It's like you can't use the Quest anymore.
Well, at the end of the day, we all knew this was going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, when Facebook bought Oculus.
Facebook is terrible and I hate it. A company. I mean...
Yeah, it's just
oh dear God.
Cyber mentality. I think it's as best to do it with that. And now
I was just reading the update where it was like, oh, it's the same if you delete your Sony PlayStation account. You lose access to all of your things. Fuck off. I mean, it's not. But anyway. Facebook sucks. This is dumb. Buy a Vive. Or a PSVR.
I was going to say, PSVR. Which will probably have a new one out in like 2 or 3 years.
But if PlayStation are doing, like, you get PSVR really cheap. And PlayStation, are, like, if you've got a serial number for a PSVR, PlayStation will send you an adapter so you can use it on PS5. And I got to imagine plugging a PSVR into a PS5 with all that power, like, games will be amazing to play on.
Shaking the champagne bottles.
Games will be amazing to play on PSVR, on a PS5. And I'm gonna. This will disappear. This will soon disappear, and there'll be a PlayStation VR headset there, like, within the next couple of months. I guarantee it.
Where's your PS5 gonna go? I thought you would put it there so we could see it.
I mean, we'll see. Like, maybe because release day.
It's a chunky boy, as we've seen.
Well, release day will be podcast recording day.
19th, yeah.
So
Thursday, yeah.
I might just have the PS5 there for the podcast. Like with the review show, I'll probably put the box there because I'll probably be reviewing a ton of PS5 games.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be using it. But no, yeah, the box is gonna be there like launch week, like for sure. It's gonna be fucking huge, like.
Yeah, that's true.
I might just put the box in the chair and then angle the microphone under the table, and I'll just. Hey, I'm a PlayStation 5 box. Lol. Anyway. Here's some new game announcements, Mooney. Got some reveals, some release dates, a few delays, some free-ish games. We need to figure out what to call that section at some point.
The free-ish games, there it is.
Free and free-ish. Anyway, there were some reveals. Surviving the Aftermath is coming to Nintendo Switch next spring. Griftland's Nintendo Switch Edition is coming to Nintendo Switch next summer. No Man's Sky is getting free next-gen upgrades on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and on PC. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night has been announced for iOS and Android, and My Time at Sandrock, which is the sequel of My Time at Porsche, is starting a Kickstarter and coming to early access next year. I foresee some No Man's Sky in my immediate future, Mooney.
Do you?
I do.
Is that going to be your next name for the?
No. It'd be disingenuous because No Man's Sky is really good now, but everybody knows it's really good now. And even like in that intermediate time between launch and when Next came out, I was like, it's not very good. So like, it's not like Sea of Thieves where I was always right because I always said it was always good. But no, like I want to look like No Man's Sky is a sexy game, like already, and like it's getting like PS5 enhancements. I own it on PS4. So I'm due a free PS5 upgrade. I'm getting a PS5. Like, I could see some No Man's Sky in my future once, like, all the new games, like, die down. Because I really like that game. And I was in the middle of building a farm. And I should really get back to it. It's been, like, a year.
Just a year?
Yeah. I remember streaming it last year. And I got a bunch of regulars who came purely because I was playing No Man's Sky. And then Summit came out and I dropped it. But it was one of those games where I dropped it not because I wasn't enjoying it, but just because other shit happened. We got some release dates. 2. Haven, which is a cool game I played a demo of last year. That launches on December 3rd on PC, PS5, Xbox Series, and Xbox One. Temtem is coming to PS5 on December 8th in early access. Bakugan, Champions of Vestroia, releases on November 3rd on Nintendo Switch. Visage, the game that might legitimately kill me, launches October 30th on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Looks like the scariest game ever. Can't wait. FIFA 21 releases on PS5 and Xbox Series on December 4th. And Apex Legends comes to Steam on November 4th. I'm really looking forward to Visage. I remember seeing a gameplay demo of it because the game, I think the game's been in early access since like 2016. And I remember seeing gameplay footage of it like probably around about 2016 because the developers themselves put out like a gameplay walkthrough, and it legitimately looked like PT.
Yeah.
But like a full game. And I was like, cool. I can't not play it. I'm really excited because I love horror games, but like my heart's 4 years older, Moody. I don't know if my heart can take it anymore. It's been a long time since PT.
It has, I mean, that is true. It has been a long time since PT.
We got some delays. We discussed the Cyberpunk 2077 delay earlier. Bravely Default 2 has been delayed to February 26, 2021.
I just want to say one thing. I now concede completely to you. I have one game coming out, which is Valhalla.
4, motherfucker!
All 4 of your games get delayed, which we know they're not, and all 4 of them completely bomb and get crap reviews. You have definitively won.
Yeah.
Well done to you. I take my cap off to you, Amy.
Now let's see if I can.
My aim is to finish second.
I'm in, and this is where we squeeze the Formula One talk in. I'm in Mercedes mode right now, where it's not about winning. It's not about winning. It's about how many points can I get.
Yeah.
Can I get to 200?
Like, my tires are going. Oh, faster slap. Sorry, guys. I was just. My tires are fine now.
Like my aim now.
I'm okay.
Like my thought now is, can I get to 200 points in Fantasy Game League?
It's going to be interesting. You got some biggies. You got some big
Cyberpunk,
games.
Spider-Man, Bugsnax,
Yeah,
Yakuza.
Bugsnax, I don't think is going to get you that much.
And
I think it's going to be able to...
if Hollow Knight does the whole "we're coming out next week" thing, who knows? That's the only other game I think I've got left. Keith's got a lot of games coming out too. Anyway, Destruction All Stars has been delayed to February 2021, and it will be a PS Plus game at launch. I have a feeling it was meant to be a PS Plus game in November, but the game got delayed, which is good because it looks interesting, and I do want to legitimately give it a shot. But if it had come out in November, I legitimately was not going to be able to give it a shot, even if it was a PS Plus game, because this is too much. So the fact that it's coming out in February means that now in February I'll be like, cool, I'm definitely going to try this because it looks interesting. And Far Cry 6 was delayed indefinitely. Just before we started recording. Thanks to Moody for pointing it out.
I don't think it's been fully confirmed yet, but it was on an earnings call with Ubisoft, so if they're saying it's delayed, then...
yeah, if that, I mean, they'd know, right? Speaking of which, I'm just really quickly updating the OpenCritic thing underneath, because that just reminded me for some reason. We've got the free-ish games. Free on Epic. Blair Witch and Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, will be free until November 5th. I might try that, because I never played Ghostbusters, the video game, and I heard it was alright.
Yeah, I've just literally claimed them both while you were talking.
Now.
Yeah.
PS Plus games for November. Well, this is it. This is the moment I've wanted to talk about all podcast. November 12th.
Made it the main topic.
I should have. On November 12th, talking about Bugsnax. Ooh. November 12th, PS Plus owners on PlayStation 5 only. They were very clear about that. Will get Bugsnax. Now I have nothing to spend my Epic coupon on, but I don't care because I'm going to get Bugsnax on my PS5. Woo! I'm so excited.
I've already got it on Epic.
Yeah, I was literally thinking like, I'm going to pre-order this game because I've got my £10 Epic coupon.
Yeah.
And then legit the day I was thinking of it, and I was thinking, right, cool, I'll do it at the end of the week.
I sent you it, didn't I?
And then they were like, you get Bugsnax, and I was like, fucking yes!
The
I won't
thing
cancel
is,
my PS Plus.
The thing is, I'm not surprised Bugsnax is the PlayStation Plus game for November. I'm not surprised.
I'm sure we actually speculated on.
Yeah, I think we all even thought it was going to be the game.
I'm sure we said I'm sure we've both guessed, predicted whatever that Bugsnax was going to be a PS Plus game when it came out. Also, you get Middle-earth Shadow of War and Hollow Knight Voidheart Edition. So, Bugsnax is, the headline thing. But I think it's taking away from the fact that the other games on PS Plus in November are really fucking good. Shadow of War, they fixed it, apparently, where it's not, ridiculous microtransaction land. And Hollow Knight is just a fucking phenomenal game. It's my fucking phone case, dude!
I like how it's my fucking phone case.
This is how much I like Hollow Knight.
It was a great game, Hollow Knight. There's no doubt about that.
So if you have PS Plus or you're getting a PS5, but even if you've got a PS4 and you just want some good games, get PS Plus for a month because the games are really good this month.
Yeah. At least the combat alone and the what's the system they have in Middle-earth?
The Nemesis system.
Those two alone make that game worthy to play. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
The story, I wouldn't say much, but
sexy Shelob was an interesting choice.
There was something.
Game Pass games have been announced, Moody. Some of them are out already. Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 4 available on PC, console, and Android on October 29th. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds available on Android on October 29th. Scourgebringer is available on Android on October 29th. Unruly Heroes is available on PC, console, and Android on October 29th. So those are all already available because that was yesterday, as far as this podcast is concerned.
Mm.
So here's the future, Moody. And this is a good future. Celeste is coming out on PC, console, and Android on November 5th. Comanche is coming out on PC on November 5th. Deep Rock Galactic is coming to Game Pass on PC, console, and Android on November 5th. Actually own that game. Eastshade is coming to PC, console, and Android on November 5th. Knights and Bikes is coming to PC and console on November 5th. And Ark Survival Evolved Explorers Edition is coming to PC, console, and Android on November 17th. There's some fucking cracking games in there coming to Game Pass in November.
Game Pass continues to do what it does best.
Celeste alone is worth the price of admission. If you haven't played it, it's a phenomenal game.
Oh, Celeste, like I say, one of the best games of 2018.
Eastshade's a really cool, really chill game. I remember playing it when Apex Legends came out last year. And Deep Rock Galactic's a really fun multiplayer game that I could never convince anyone to play. And I was going to use this opportunity to try and convince Moody to play it, but he's taking his bastard headphones off. Because it's like he knew. It's like he knew. I'll be interested to see you watch that part of the podcast back. Anyway. You should definitely watch that part of the podcast back. That's fine. Lastly, Netflix has announced a live-action Assassin's Creed series.
I'll be talking about this on my podcast, which will drop on Sunday. I'm very intrigued by this. I think my initial thoughts, I'm thinking, yeah, why the hell not? Netflix do good TV shows.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's like
who said that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, for me, I think the best company does limited series TV shows is HBO, is Hasbro. Not Hasbro, HBO. But Netflix, I would say, are a close second. They do some phenomenal TV shows, which Umbrella Academy, etc., etc., etc. They do some really good shows, and I think they can really do a good job with the Assassin's Creed series. I'm very intrigued. The whole thing, which is a bit disconcerting for me, is the quote unquote "we're gonna make it a universe" type of thing, and I'm just like, how about you just do a good series first, then we can discuss the rest and everything. But yeah, I am a little bit interested.
That's how the DC thing worked on the CW. First they made a good TV show, and then they started making spin-offs.
And then they started the spin-off, and then after 2 seasons they killed that series. And then after that, they did a Legends of Tomorrow series, which didn't even start, I think, very goodly. And then after that, they just killed it. And they did then yeah. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
How dare you on multiple points? For starters, The Flash started when Arrow was still good. DC Legends of Tomorrow started bad, and then it got really good when they just went, what if this was just a show that was fucking ridiculous? And then everybody went, yeah, all right. And then it was fucking ridiculous, but it was really entertaining. And also Batwoman exists, dude. Come on. How dare you?
New look for the new Batwoman looks pretty cool. I won't lie.
New Batwoman does look pretty cool. Old Batwoman was cool. New Batwoman is going to be cool too. It's just a shame the pandemic kind of cut all of the shows off. I
am going to be intrigued to see how they work around that.
Yeah. Because it was like nothing had a season finale and no storylines were really resolved because they still had like 4 episodes left to shoot. Which is a shame, but it happens. We've got a content drop, 2 articles and a video. Well, actually, it's 2 articles and 2 videos because one's both. The first one is from Eurogamer. Someone should make a game about Flash Forward. I haven't thought about Flash Forward in like a decade.
Is that old TV show?
It was the TV show with Joseph Fiennes and that guy from Coupling and the Hobbit from.
They all fainted and they saw.
Everybody passed out.
The future, yeah,
and they all saw the future, and then it was like it was going to be the new Lost. And then
it got cancelled in the first season.
It got cancelled in the first season because no one was watching it because nobody wanted another Lost.
That show was not bad. I actually liked the first
I actually
season.
liked it. Yeah, I was gonna say I liked Flash Forward, and it was it was really cool. Like, John Shaw was in it, and the guy who was in Lost, who was also the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I forget his name.
Guy who was the Hobbit. Mary. He was the guy. Mary.
It was he was in Chuck as well. He was the rock star in that one episode of Chuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not Penny's boat, right in Lost.
He was also in Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker.
He was also in Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker for about 45 seconds.
Just as much as Kelly Marie Tran. Well done, Disney. Well done.
Don't remind me.
Idiots.
The Hobbit in Lord of the Rings cast. Where the hell's Mary? Why have I typed in? Oh, because it's giving me the cast of the Hobbit. I was like, why the fuck is Gandalf in? I wanted the Hobbits. No. Like, why? Google, what have you done? Here we go. IMDb.
Dominic Monaghan.
Dominic Monaghan. Thank you.
Monaghan.
Google just had a brain aneurysm. But yeah, Flash Forward was really cool. But I think it would be pretty cool. It could be the pretty cool basis of a game, which is what this article is about.
Yeah.
And probably
a game could be pretty decent.
And probably like nobody has seen Flash Forward, so like just read the article and it'll be like, oh, that does sound really cool. The second article is also from Digital Foundry, which is part of Eurogamer. Which is like a breakdown of how the DualSense controller works when playing Astro's Playroom, which is the free pack game with PS5, and it's really interesting. And we talk about how the controller works.
Has the controller and has played it, says the controller feels amazing.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous.
But there's an article and a video. Yeah. And the last thing in the content drop is a new no-clip documentary, How Alien Isolation Survived Its Difficult Development. Love Alien Isolation. Love Creative Assembly. Love no-clip.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that combination.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good documentary. It's it's only 20-25 minutes long, which is it's a little shorter than I thought, but obviously pandemic going on and everything like that, they can only do so much. But yeah, very intrigued with what they say in this, and I'm very interested for things.
And on that vague bombshell,
we'll move on to the thing I have to say.
The game's out next week. Now I can go pee now.
Yes, game out next week, ladies and gentlemen. November 2nd, nothing. November 3rd, Jurassic World Evolution, coming to the Nintendo Switch. Place yourself at the heart of Jurassic franchise and build your own Jurassic World. Bioengineer dinosaurs that think, feel, and react integrally to the world around them and face threats posed by espionage, breakouts, and devastating tropical storms in an uncertain world where life always finds a way. November 4th, there is nothing. November 5th, Breathe Edge, coming to the PC. Jump in a dark comedy space survival game set in the near future of a monopolized space exploration. Armed with an immortal chicken, you are a survivor of a sudden space liner crash. Explore the wreckage, build stuff to survive, and let the chicken do the rest. Okay. Same as November 5th, Yestermore, PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch, is a single-player time-traveling 2D platformer, mixing action sequences with puzzle elements. Follow the engineering story of Yu, who travels back into the past to save her family and the remnants of a world now trapped in never-ending night. Coming November 6th, Dirt 5, coming PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It is the boldest off-road racing experience created by Codemasters. I'm getting attacked by a fly. Blaze a trail on routes across the world, covering gravel, ice, snow, and sand, with a roster of cars ranging from rally icons to trucks. to GT Heroes. November 6th as well, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit remastered. PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Feel the thrill of the chase and the rush of escape behind the wheels of the world's hottest high-performance cars and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit remastered. A heart-pumping social competitive racing experience. And finally, same November 6th, Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay. PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Join the Mighty Pups on a super heroic mission to save Adventure Bay. Have fun together in 2-player co-op mode. Unlock fun minigames, rescue familiar friends, and use each pup's mighty powers to make the town pawsome again. I see what they did there.
Pawsome. Do you get it? Pawsome. Next week, I shall be playing a lot of games that were released earlier in 2020. Because this is the week before the week that's Mooney's going to be talking for like half the podcast. Games out next week. They're on that already. It's only an hour in. Yeah. But anyway, I digress.
I feel sick of me. I might not be here next week. You might have to get
you already used your sick days.
Wait, I only had one sick day?
Yeah.
What was that in the contract?
That's one more than me. When I tried to get the week off, nobody answered my tasks. You got the week off. I got 3 confirmations, and I had to pick between 3 different people. I was put in such an awkward situation.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So you picked the person who picked the wrong number for OpenCritic?
Well, one of the other people would have been Fox's, and if I'd explained how the game worked, he probably would have tanked it on purpose.
Oh, yeah, he spoke to me about that. He apologizes for not getting back to you straight away.
No, well, I didn't get back to him for like a day.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get the notification for his Discord message. But yeah, I was like, oh shit, I've already got someone. Oh no. I don't want Foxes to be mad at me. And he wasn't. And then we played Among Us, and he killed me a bunch.
Then he killed you. Yeah, killed you a few times. So he got rid of his anger on that.
So we're all good now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a great equalizer. But anyway, we're going to play OpenCritic head-to-head. This is a game we play every single week, where myself and Moody will try to guess the OpenCritic average of one upcoming game. Whoever gets closest to the score gets 1 point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Moody's stand-in last week was Patrick. And the game is Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I guessed it would get an OpenCritic average of 79. Patrick guessed it would get an OpenCritic average of 75. And at the time of recording, Pikmin 3 Deluxe has an OpenCritic average of 85.
We both lowballed it, I won't lie. When I saw Pikmin, I was thinking, I think that's going to be maybe low 80s.
Then you should have been here last week because you would have won.
You knew what I was doing last week.
I specifically didn't want to do Watch Dogs Legion because you weren't here. And I picked a Nintendo game because Patrick's a bit more Nintendo focused. But hey, you win some, you lose some. You also missed, I don't know if you watched last week's podcast, but you also missed the part where 2 scores came in my favour last week.
Yep. I saw that, don't you worry. I saw that. Because
the current scores stand at Amy 20, Moody 18, with 3 draws. I guess closest so far in 2020. On, just take the deep breath. I was gonna say. Dreams, Warcraft 3, One Punch Man, Half-Life Alyx, Resident Evil 3, Gears Tactics, Legends of Runeterra, Deep Rock Galactic, Manny and Xenoblade Chronicles, West of Dead, Ghosts of Tsushima, Other Side, Surgeon Simulator 2, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Remothered, Broken Porcelain, Amnesia Rebirth, and Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I also guessed the score correctly for Carrion by being immature and guessing 69 and laughing.
You were. You did. Yeah.
Yeah. Moody has guessed closest so far in 2020 on Zombie Army 4. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, XCOM, Chimera Squad, Command & Conquer Remastered, Iron Man VR, Deadly Premonition 2, Fall Guys, Total War, Troy, Flight Simulator, Avengers, Necromunda, and FIFA 21. He's also guessed the score correctly for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and Serious Sam 4. The 3 draws we've had so far this year were for The Last of Us Part 2, SpongeBob SquarePants, and Star Wars Squadrons. This week, because there's not very much out, and I'll be honest, at one point, this was going to be Paw Patrol. But we're going to guess the OpenCritic average of Dirt 5. So, Moody, what do you think?
85.
OpenCritic averaged 85. Cool. That was going to be my number. I'm going to guess Dirt 5 is going to get an OpenCritic average of 84. Because I, too, looked up the scores for the previous Dirt games on OpenCritic and noticed a pattern. And I feel like they did too, and that's why the number that we were going to guess was exactly the same.
I always look it up, and you know I do. I always try to see a pattern, see what the average is.
Yeah, you know, I normally don't, but because I was filling in the Pikmin thing, I was like, I'm on OpenCritic anyway. I might as well actually do some research this week.
Let's have a look-sees, yeah. Why the hell not?
Dirt 5 came up when I was searching. I was like, wait, does it already have one? Are we going to have to do Paw Patrol? I would have loved to have seen you try to figure out what the OpenCritic average for Paw Patrol, Mighty Pup, Safe Adventure Bear.
I would have been going off just the name. It's low, and I would have been shooting low with that.
96. Game of the year. Cool. That's it for the podcast.
We are done. Yes, we are.
We've got time. Like the Orange is the New Black theme tune says. To talk about whatever we want.
I actually don't. When I was getting disturbed, I got asked to do something. So I actually don't.
What do you got to do?
I go and set up this new Fire Stick for my mother.
All those things like basically plug, play, and...
This is my mother who's still stuck in the 20th century, Amy.
They had technology in the 20th century.
They didn't have streaming in the 20th century. To the level of what it is now.
No, you're right. They didn't have streaming in the 20th century. I was like, was that true? Yeah, that was probably true. Fine. Leave me. Make a liar of me.
I will leave, okay.
At the beginning of the podcast, I was all like, and then we'll do a post-show discussion.
Well, we kind of are, where you're getting angry at me because I have to leave.
How dare you? Everyone's going to be like, this episode was 15 minutes shorter than usual. And I'll be like,
I would...
don't blame me.
Shorten the episodes altogether if you want.
Nah, I'm just kidding. If you gotta do stuff, you gotta do stuff. You can go if you want. I'll just do an outro, and you can hang up the Discord call when you come back.
You sure?
I can see you edging your chair away, and I'm like, cool. I mean, if it's a rush, I can end the podcast myself.
No, it's just about late it is now, and I just want to try and get it sorted now.
No, it's fine. You go. I'll end the podcast.
All right, much love, ladies and
then I'll end
gentlemen.
the call once I'm finished.
Stay safe. Always fun. And I'll speak to you probably tomorrow, Amy. Much love.
Actually, that'll do. Yeah. See you later, everyone. Bye.